What's up? So in college, I used to have a better haircut than this. I used to have some friends or friends of friends who would always argue with each other. And if you've been in a friend group like this, it's just like a bunch of opinionated nerds. You'll probably know what I mean. And back then I always thought it was like stupid as fuck because like they would just argue with each other without like even really knowing if like what they were saying was true. And I remember complaining to my best friend Chris that I felt like everybody should have to cite their sources when they're arguing, you know, like have a works cited page like on Wikipedia or something. And so obviously I never participated in discussions like that. Like I just like did not get involved. And like today I still wouldn't want to get involved. I still wouldn't want to be a part of that. But I have realized something, which is that what you say doesn't need to be universally true. It doesn't need to apply to everybody in every situation. It's okay to put your opinions out there. If you don't know, my name is Kirby. I was a software engineer at Amazon for 4 years, but I ended up hating it. So I quit to go all in on starting a one-person business online. And I'm putting everything I learned up here, so you can do it too. So I used to be so afraid to make videos or voice an opinion, which I've wanted to do for a long time, because I always thought like, well, this doesn't apply to this situation, or it's not true in this case. And it was so intimidating and exhausting to think that like, oh, I have to like foresee every scenario and look at this from every angle in order to say anything at all. But I realized that it's just an attempt at trying to control everyone's reactions to what you say, which is ultimately a waste of time because you're never going to be able to control and account for everyone's reactions and opinions and context that they bring to everything. And ultimately what they think is mostly about them more than it is about you. But the truth is the stuff that you say, the thoughts that you have, the content that you make, those are meant for a specific person in a specific context. Like if you're making content that will resonate with people, which is what I am trying to learn how to do, I think that content is talking to a specific person, someone that you specifically have in mind, even if it's someone that you like invented. And so if you're talking to a specific person in a specific context, the stuff you say doesn't need to be universally true. It doesn't need to apply to everyone in every scenario. For anything that you want to say, there will be people for whom that doesn't apply. It's not true. It's not helpful, etc., etc. But ultimately, that doesn't matter. All that matters is that you say something helpful or useful for the person, for the avatar and context that you have in mind. And if people get caught up in trying to apply what you say to situations and contexts that don't match your intent, which they will at some point, like it's all good. That's what's going to happen. That's inevitable. It's not for them, or it's just not for their situation. And ultimately, like what it comes down to is just being afraid to post stuff or to say stuff in public because you're afraid of what people will think about it. Like specifically, you're afraid of people reacting negatively to it, which is okay. That's like, that's human. Everybody feels like that. You feel like you need to, at least I feel like this or felt like this for a long time, that I have to have considered every angle and situation before I say something so that like it's immune from being attacked or judged. You know, like I've thought out every scenario in advance. Like I have to add armor to my thoughts and opinions before I share them to keep them safe. And if you're thinking like, well, okay, but then some people aren't going to like what I say, or they won't receive the message that I'm trying to send. And so then maybe it's worth trying to craft your message to be bulletproof. I think no matter what you do, there are people who are just not going to like it anyway. And it's like not worth spending time trying to foresee their objections and like make it palatable for them, because you could be spending that time talking to people who are ready to hear what you have to say. And you don't want to be talking only in an echo chamber. It's not just about surrounding yourself with like people who just agree with everything you say and tell you you're the shit all the time. But I think I'm okay with not persuading people, at least for now. Like persuasion isn't the goal that I'm focused on right now. I think if you are ready and if you are trying to persuade people, more power to you. That's cool. And there's a place for that. And we need that. But like before I learn or try to persuade people, I want to get better at talking to people and helping people who don't need to be persuaded yet. Like they're already in a similar place and they're already open to listening. More power to people who feel like they do want to persuade people, but it doesn't have to be you. And if it is you, it doesn't have to be your first goal. And if you can get over that hurdle of trying to armor up the stuff you say, then you're kind of free, right? You can post what you want to say. You can explain and mention that like the topics have nuance, but you don't have to defend it from every angle. And your people, the people who you can help the most, they'll get it, right? And I think you should expect that there will always be some people who don't get it, who will never get it. And I think that's totally okay. In fact, it's kind of good because it means that like what you're saying is focused enough to be useful to somebody instead of like too general and vague to really help anybody. And it's good to think about what you want to say and consider it from multiple different angles, but also don't be afraid to trust yourself and to let people say what they want to say and then just keep doing you. And that's all I got for today. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're being nice to yourself today. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.